Sangeeta Reddy ji. My compliments to you on completing your year as the president of FICCI very, very successfully, despite the challenging times that you faced almost throughout your tenure. I believe you have demonstrated the power of our women and clearly have set benchmarks which are going to be tough for your future presidents. I think Uday Shankar takes over today. I wish him all the best, and I do hope he will continue with the same spirit, enthusiasm, commitment, zeal and dedication that we saw in you, Sangeeta ji. My compliments and my best wishes to you in all your future endeavors. Of course, as much as I know FICCI, once a FICCI president, you are always going to be involved in FICCI activities. So whenever I'm engaged with FICCI, I found the most powerful aspect of FICCI has been the fact that all your previous presidents, Mr. Rajan Mittal, Mr. Sandeep Somani, Mr. Singhania, all of them are continuously engaged in all the activities of FICCI, and I'm sure you will continue this very rich tradition in the years to come. I would also like to thank Sandeep Somani for his very warm welcome. He has also been a very dear friend who has supported the government of India in several ideation of new initiatives. And I do hope this team that I see before me will, as we go forward, be equally engaged with the government to transform Indian business, Indian commerce, and move towards making India a prosperous, a developed nation, a nation which cares for 1.35 billion Indians, and that is respected and trusted across the world. Not only the business world, but also the political world, and I have no doubt in my mind that FICCI will be a very, very integral part of this journey as we go forward, this journey of a new India, this journey of transforming India, and this journey of building a powerful India. I would like to thank FICCI for organizing the FICCI Annual Expo, a glimpse of which I just got. It's truly impressive that in a short period of time, you've been able to put together such a wonderful digital platform. Sometimes I worry for the exhibition industry that if COVID is going to help come up with such innovative ideas, travel, exhibitions, that physical engagements that were a thing of the normal MICE industry may actually take quite a beating. But I think as we go forward, we will see a mix of virtual and physical combining to help us expand our global outreach, helping us reach out to newer markets, newer customers, newer products. And I'm sure this platform that you have created will play a useful role in that effort also. I would also like to acknowledge the Startups Meet Industry program that you just unveiled. Startups are going to be the backbone of New India. Startups and the ecosystem of startups are encouraging innovation. They are promoting and strengthening new young entrepreneurs, new businesses with new ideas, new ways of doing business. And I'm sure this initiative in which you already have about 10,000 startups tied in, will help mentor them to become successful startups, move them to unicorns and unicorns, and we'll see much more of this startup story unfolding in the days to come. While we are at it, I just want to share a thought that I had mentioned earlier also, and seek the cooperation of business leaders from FICCI. If we look at the investments that are going into the startup ecosystem, particularly the early stage seed capital investments, you find that at very low valuations, foreigners are coming and picking up large stakes in our budding startups. I have been terribly concerned about it. Not that I am against foreign capital. We welcome that. But I do think our Indian industry should also reflect and see if we can create a fund of sorts to support early stage investments in startups from all the well-meaning Indian business and industry leaders. Maybe an initial fund of say 10,000 crores. It's only $1.25 billion, $1.3 billion. But if we were to create a fund like this, totally run by industry or by whoever you may select or choose to run it, I think thousands of our budding entrepreneurs with good ideas will get an opportunity to scale up, will get your initial support. Because of that, we could also have a mentorship program with the startups. We could also have our Indian industry seeing who can engage with that startup and use the services of that startup. It can be a very holistic program. And I remember Ritesh Agarwal from OYO had picked up on this idea when I had shared it in one of my engagements. And I do hope that all the titans that I see before me will consider this program, pick it up, and hopefully make it a FICCI-led initiative. Let's see, maybe it should be a competition between FICCI and CII and SHM and PhD to see who picks up this initiative and progresses fastest in this. I'll be delighted if FICCI was to give it your best consideration. I would also like to thank FICCI about your role in the various sectoral studies that scale the steering committee for advancement of localization and employment opportunities in India is working on. The studies that you have carried out, the industry engagements have really been very useful. And I do believe that the various PLI programs, the various efforts to sort out the problems that different sectors are facing are bearing fruit in various industries, as I hope my friend Mr. Singhania will acknowledge. The tire and rubber industry ecosystem is one ecosystem that I can clearly see becoming a great business leader in the years to come, where we'll be encouraging rubber plantations through the support of the private sector. We'll be improving the quality of rubber through the support of the private sector, and government on its part will give adequate support to the tire industry so that it can grow, expand and flourish. On similar lines, we have identified another 24 sectors on which work is going on at different levels. The initiative is led by industry. You have your people, your representative in the scale committee. So it's FICCI, CII, SHM and all other sectoral industry leaders who are working together to come up with an actionable agenda to add nearly 200 lakh crores worth of manufacturing in India in the next 10 years. That's an average of about 20 lakh crores of domestic manufacturing being added to India every single year. I believe it's an ambitious program. $300 billion addition to our manufacturing ecosystem will certainly add millions of jobs and work opportunities, directly and indirectly. It will create scale and quality in different sectors and help us to meet the demands of India, the growing demands of 1.3 billion people, while also helping us to expand our international and export outreach. I believe scale of manufacturing coupled with quality and productivity can truly make India competitive in several sectors and help move towards an Atmanirbhar Bharat, which I believe is going to be an important building block of the new India that you and I are both working for, that you and I are both committed to achieve. I must also thank FICCI for their support in our initiative to create a Brand India. The Brand India initiative, ladies and gentlemen, is an idea where government and industry will partner with each other, will develop both on the Make in India side and an overall Brand India side. There are two initiatives. At an immediate level, we are looking at educating consumers, both in India and internationally, about products which are made in India. So we are pushing all industry to certify the Make in India products, if possible also with the value addition component being highlighted in the Make in India component. So if one of you is making sanitary ware, which is 100% domestic, he can proudly say it's a 100% Make in India product. While if somebody else is providing a product which is 70% Make in India, he can equally proudly say that, look, today I'm 70% Make in India, but I'm aspiring to increase my Indian share and provide opportunities to other Indian companies and entrepreneurs, or doing downstream investments to expand my Make in India contribution or value addition. On the second part aspect of the program, we are looking at branding India, something we are all proud of. When we look at branding India, we already have examples like Incredible India, when India was branded as a tourism destination. We have examples like Khadi or the Indian wool being branded very proudly. I think it's time now that just like you have Swiss brand, that any watch which is of Swiss make, any of you would buy considering that it has to be a good watch, or a machine tool coming from Germany would be considered high quality coming from Germany. On similar lines, it's time that India demonstrates to the world our leadership position and the commitment of quality. Once a product is branded an Indian brand, it should demonstrate to the world, oh, it's an Indian product, it has to be good. That's what you and I have to work towards. We have to propagate this Brand India both in India and internationally and create pride for our brand. I have suggested that it should be a joint partnership between industry and the government to expand the Brand India program, and I invite FICCI to be a part of this initiative. I have noted Sandeep ji's point about the high compliance burden. For the last about, I would say, 1 year and 2 months now, we have been engaged on this problem. Team Lease has come out with several reports on it. FICCI gave us a lot of inputs. We are working both on the macro level and on sectoral levels to see how, and it's a big promise I'm making to you. I promise you I'm working hard to make it happen, but I'm trying to create the first genuine single window in terms of compliances and ease of the approval process. I'm hoping this will be a window which doesn't open into 10 doors behind it. We are making every effort. I have a whole dedicated team working on this. I'm pushing them hard. They're seeking more time. I'm keeping on compressing the time. We are trying to engage with states. We are trying to engage with local bodies, other colleague establishments across the country, and seeing if we can create something which in simple terms, if I can explain to you, is like the common application form that many of you would have filled up for your children's admission to university, where you have a common application form. All the basic data is available on that form, so you don't have to repeat that 2,000 times. Hopefully that 2,000 will come down, Mr. Somani. And we are working towards that very rapidly also to reduce the burden of repeatedly supplying the same data or repeatedly applying for renewals of licenses. But that common application form with the dead data would be like a DigiLocker. And different departments, if they have any additional information, would be like an annexure, a pop-out annexure for that department. Now that's the architecture I have explained. Hopefully, if things go well, our technology suppliers do a good job, we do hope to come up with a much easier process to meet with the compliances while simultaneously working across ministries to see if we can reduce the burden of compliances. Ladies and gentlemen, the government is working on the 3I principle for nation building: inspire, initiate and innovate. I believe Prime Minister Modi inaugurated your AGM this morning, and I don't think there can be anybody more inspiring in terms of leading the nation to the new India than Prime Minister Modi. He has worked tirelessly and inspired the nation with his vision, simplicity and courage to think beyond the past, beyond the limitations of the past, and be willing to embrace change, sometimes at great personal cost, sometimes at causing great misunderstandings amongst the people. But the good part is, he is very clear in his mind that the country has to prosper. 1.3 billion people have to prosper. Laws have to be made for the larger benefit of our society, our different stakeholders, be it our farmers, be it our workmen, labor, be it our education and healthcare services, be it industry, be it commerce, import and export, be it our vibrant services sector, and with a holistic vision of development, reaching the benefits of growth and economic development to the last man at the bottom of the pyramid has been his one unstinted goal. Of course, at times there are misunderstandings, there are times there are political opposition, there are times there are vested interests which try to scuttle change and improvement. I mentioned yesterday that we now realize that the so-called farmer agitation hardly remains a farmer agitation. It is almost got infiltrated by leftist and Maoist elements, a flavor of which we saw over the last 2 days when there were demands, extraneous demands, to release people who have been put behind bars for anti-national activities or who have been put behind bars for illegal activities. Demands being raised on a farmer's platform to release so-called intellectuals and poets clearly demonstrate that the effort to derail farm law improvements is probably in the hands of certain elements who are not good for India. I would urge all well-meaning business leaders and all well-meaning intellectuals who are involved with FICCI, who are on this call, on this webcast, to talk about the benefits of these farm laws, to understand the law. Should you have any apprehension, please talk to us. I'm happy to do a separate session on the farm laws if FICCI was to organize it. I'm happy to do a Q&A to address any concerns anybody may have. But I can assure you, these laws are for the benefit of nearly 100 million farmers across the country. This is one government which has been committed to farmer welfare. This is a government which has almost doubled procurement under minimum support price, MSP, which is wrongly sought to be portrayed as being under danger. This is a government that has ensured that farmers get a 50% over their cost of production. This is a government that has increased the agricultural budget nearly 6 times and never before increased to today being nearly $20 billion, 1.34 lakh crores being invested in the agricultural sector. This is a government that's committed to doubling farmers' income. And these laws are but one aspect of the overall effort that we have done in this direction. I would urge all of you to educate the farmers in your sphere of influence. So if some of you has a factory in a particular area, your officials hold a panchayat over there, talk to the local people, understand if they have any misunderstandings or concerns, address them. If you still have any concerns, ask us, talk to them, explain the benefits, explain how these laws, without changing what the past is, without in any way touching the past systems, opens up new opportunities to do trade and commerce and business for our farmers so that they can go in for more investment. There'll be more investment in rural India. There'll be R&D. There'll be more opportunities for value addition, and therefore farmers can increase their income. I would urge FICCI, particularly those of you with factories or establishments in rural India where there is farming in a big way, to kindly take this project forward and send me a report of the activities that FICCI does in this regard. I would also like to quickly touch upon the fact that Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliance, is not about closing the doors of India. It's about opening them wider. It's about greater global engagement. We are not at all suggesting that we are anti-imports. What we wish is that India improves its quality of production, its scale of production. We identify areas where we have competitive and comparative advantages, where we can also become global players, contribute to global trade in a bigger way, while at the same time recognizing we will continue to import high technology products, we'll continue to do technology transfer, we'll continue to work with international companies so that we can bring better products and services to India. So it's a two-way partnership and a greater expansion of our international engagement that Atmanirbhar Bharat talks of. However, there are many products that can be made in India, that can be made very well at competitive prices with good quality in India. I would urge all of you in FICCI to support each other, support Indian industry. If there's a product you can buy in India, even though you may find it slightly cheaper initially to import, but if you support an Indian company, help him improve his quality and scale, he'll certainly become more competitive supplier for you, and you will thereby help create jobs and work opportunities for our young brothers and sisters for the future of India, and help strengthen the power of India, help strengthen this resolve of a new India that takes care of 135 crore Indians. I invite all of you to be a part of this journey towards New India. As William Arthur Ward, the British artist, has once said, the pessimist complains about the wind, the optimist expects it to change, the realist adjusts the sails. I invite all of you, with your optimism, to look for a bright future ahead for all of us in this country, while adjusting the sails along the way to ensure a new India where you and the entire country will have a much, much better future, will have a glorious and prosperous future for 135 crore Indians. Let's shed this pessimistic legacy mindset. Let's build optimism through proper and powerful engagement with each other and realign our ambition, our vision and objectives to the vision of the Prime Minister of a new India. My compliments to all of you, and certainly today's AGM of FICCI and the annual expo that you have launched is one of the powerful building blocks of the new India that we are seeing in the future. My best wishes to you, Uday Shankarji. Thank you, Sangeeta, for your good work, and thank you, FICCI, for giving me this opportunity. Namaskar. Please stay safe, stay healthy. We pray for your good health, your safety, and the safety and good health of all your near and dear ones. Till we are completely out of the woods, till we have a vaccine and a cure, please continue to maintain social distancing, continue to wear the mask, and continue to encourage all the people in your ecosystem to follow the rules of COVID. Thank you.